This is the best deal ever. Now, just to be clear on this, because I might actually leave this in, this was a gift that clan member actually wanted to give me. I just happened to have 3 platinum left over, so give them. This was not being bought for 3 platinum. This set of Mesa Prime was gifted to me by Crazy Slayer. And actually, huge thanks to him, because this was on my to-do list, but with all of the stuff that came out, this was not as high as it should have been. They should have kept a hold of all of this new content until the next day and left Mesa as the only update for that day. And as much as I do love my Mesa in her Grax, it's time for an upgrade. 20 more armor, 20 more energy, 10 more health. Obviously, better all round. And visually does actually look kind of better than just the standard. Well, actually, if we take all the colours, attachments, sandana and everything off her normal frame, actually Mesa was never a bad frame. She's a good looking frame, she works really well, but my only real issue with her has been these pea shooters she uses for Peacemaker. They're just things attached to her arm, whereas you can see from the Prime frame, just the image of it here, oh, it looks so much nicer. And it wouldn't have been that hard for them to have made something like that when she first came out that would have made her look just a little bit better. Of course, it's probably best if I put the normal Mesa helmet on for this. So she would have arrived looking like that originally, and now she could have a golden version of these guns, which are of course gold anyway, because I can't seem to change the colour of them. I did have a quick try to do that there, and no such luck, hence the reason she had that weird helmet on. And honestly, very, very Western feel to her. Like, insanely. She has the cowboy hat, the cowboy girl boots. Would it be cowgirl boots or cowboy boots? I've no idea. She's just very Western looking, and honestly it suits her very well with those revolver type things she has on her arms. We have 2 dashes, a V and a D, which I was just playing with and through Prime Vigor, and I think I'll leave that in there because it is a 16-point mod. And the V for the aura, which also kind of limits you to what you put in there. A lot of people will format that for a dash instantly to run energy siphon or what's it called? Corrosive projection. And I mean, what are we supposed to say? Her first ability does exactly the same as it's always done. You activate her first ability, deal some damage, and then you have to deactivate it to be able to shoot an enemy, and it leaves this amazing kind of trail behind. But, and there's a reason I have the Piranha in hand, for things like the shotgun, it will only work, because you can see multiple pellets, it only works on one of them, and it can add, from what I'm reading here, a maximum of 1600 damage can be added to any particular round, but of course have to activate it first, then you deal damage. Of course it's going to max out. I am using a multi-projectile weapon. If I was using something else it wouldn't do so, and it does about the same amount of damage. This is why I've never really used her first ability. You can see a lot of damage, it maxes out, let go. It did pretty much the same damage it was doing before. Her second ability is where things come into play. Shooting Gallery basically locks up the enemy guns, stopping them from shooting at you. And it works so well. Now it says that this will only affect 3 enemies at a time. You can see the ring going around, and every now and then it kind of lets off. That's why some of these will continue to shoot at you, and then it will take effect again and catch the rest of those enemies. But it's actually really good when you're using it against enemies like this. And while we're here, I love the fact that they've changed the light source to over there somewhere in the simulacrum, because now people can't complain that I have my graphics settings wrong. And this place actually looks so much nicer than it did before, because you can see I'm getting carried away. But yes, this works so well. This is one of the best things about Mesa. You can see that I have very low health and shields. Of course I do have her in invincibility mode, but still, as you can imagine, using this is great. Shattering Shield is another weird one. It can reduce incoming damage from bullets and projectiles by up to 80%. You can get this to 95% under certain circumstances using ability strength. It's basically a projectile shield. What else can really be said? It can't be recast. Her second ability can't be recast. None of it can really be recast. And then we have, well, her party piece, without any augments in it, of course. Peacemaker, well, it's insane. It will deal lots of damage, in this case very, very little damage. Based on what the build you have is, the energy usage will depend upon your duration and efficiency. And you can basically just keep shooting, but yeah, I'm starting to wonder if I even have a halfway decent build in here, because I'm not killing any of these. The thing to note about it though, is you see the purple effect on the right of the screen there. It goes all the way around in a circle, it's on the left as well. As we start shooting, that comes in closer. I need to change that to a better colour, 1 second. As well as, of course, change them back to what hers should be for the guns, because these things she pulls out, now you can see it shrink so much better. Until it becomes so small, it's like a tiny little crosshair in the middle of the screen. It does let you concentrate more on 4 or 5 enemies here who are sitting in that circle, who are actually moving around, so it's affecting more and more, versus the big one that, well, will affect everybody within it. So activating and reactivating this ability will be useful, because if they're not in the circle, you cannot deal damage to them. And I'll be honest, I threw the old Mesa build on with one slight change, so I know my build is seriously out of date. I used Primed Flow, Narrow-Minded, Overextend, Primed Continuity, Streamline, Intensify and Transient Fortitude. I swapped out Mesa's Waltz, which halves her walking speed but allows you to use Peacemaker while moving, which is a great augment, by the way, because it doesn't seem to actually do anything to the ability. It doesn't take power away from it, just slows you down. I swapped that out and put Augur Secrets in, so I have 164% power strength, 124% range, 130% efficiency, and 227% duration. I think I built her more for her second ability, I'm trying to remember what that is, Shooting Gallery? And the Shattered Shield more than I did actually Peacemaker. I honestly cannot remember. Regulator's Prime, which is weird because they should just been called the Regulator Primes rather than the Regulator's Prime. Reload speed is not a factor in this. Fire rate, damage, crit damage, elemental damage, these things are important. What I did is I threw on... I do not have an elemental combo here, which is why it wasn't ripping through the armor of those level 160s. And actually we'll quickly check this, because I don't know if taking the pummel and maim or whatever it was I had in out will make that much of a... Okay, it was doing 120s, it's now doing that. Is that 1000? Okay, this is why I like coming to places like this. Okay, I probably shouldn't have added the bit before, which I may leave in, but wow. That difference comes down to 2 mods. I added 1 elemental combo, and it is stripping these guys of all existence. Yeah, I actually didn't see that one coming. This is why I like doing things like this. It kind of forces me to take another look at the build, and rather than go back and start over again and I could just say, oh yes, there were these powerful all along. It's nice to see the fact that even just playing with them I honestly thought I had an elemental combo on there and something was just seriously wrong with my Mesa build. Turned out it was just the Regulator's Prime. Yeah, add an elemental combo to those for whatever faction you are going up against. I was going up against heavily armoured enemies, so I just threw Corrosive on there using the 2 dashes. Did not increase the status chance, and the change was very noticeable. Extremely noticeable, in fact. It went from hundreds to thousands damage-wise. I really am glad to find that the elemental side of these worked just ridiculously well, and it is better with that than just adding the physical damage with lots and lots of crit. I've left the crit on, but adding that elemental stuff, the results kind of spoke for themselves, really. But anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching. Sorry this was a bit longer than expected, and I'll catch yous next time.